What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video of me, Tom Dollimore. For those of you new around here who don't know by now, I started this season as the #1 ranked manager on the FPL Research Manager rankings, and as of last week I am currently the #1 ranked manager on the Premier Fantasy Tools Manager rankings. This video series is where you can follow me and my thoughts throughout the season, so make sure you check back in every week to check out the latest video. Let's jump straight into how I did in game week 25. Had another good game week, ended up on 79 points and a green arrow up to 32.7k. So yeah, I said last week that I really wanted to try and get a run of green arrows going after quite a long period of ups and downs over Christmas, and yeah, it's really nice to get a second decent green arrow. We're up to 32 points. That's the highest rank I've had so far this season, 32.7k, and yeah, getting right in the mix of getting towards that top 10k finish once again. So yeah, really good place to be at this point in the season. So just running through the team, we had triple Arsenal defence again, coming in with the clean sheet, and Raya with a bonus point, which is a bit random, but we'll take it. Rodon nearly had a clean sheet with Defcons, but clean sheet just taken away towards the end, so didn't expect too much, but yeah, still got the Defcons added late. Moving into midfield, we had Enzo Fernandez, 2-pointer. Slightly disappointing with how Palmer performed. 2 penalties there, which is frustrating after having Enzo. Bruno Fernandes, captain. Thought it was the right choice, but actually Haaland scored 1 more points, but there's not much in it, so but all good there. Szoboszlai, oh my god, what a random one. So to be honest, like, I mean, coming into that last game, I wasn't expecting much. I was expecting, like, if he gets Defcons, that's a bonus. And yeah, he ended up scoring the goal, got the Defcons, happy days. And then I was going to come here and say, look, you know, I told you all Bruno Fernandes early on. Some of you didn't believe me, and now I think everyone's realises how good Bruno Fernandes is. And I said at some point that Szoboszlai is the next Bruno Fernandes. It's taken a while, but yeah, the points have started coming. But yeah, it's not quite doesn't quite hit home as hard when he gets the red card at the end. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll definitely take that 8 points. I was going into that game feeling like I might end up with a red arrow, but he's seen me through to a green arrow. So yeah, nice there. And Bomo with the 8 points, pretty solid. I knew the points would come from him eventually. And Ndiaye, disappointing 2-pointer. Didn't expect much from him this game. It's more about the sort of longer term hold for him, but the alternative was Sarr, and obviously he scored, so that is annoying. And then Sarr's got the better fixtures on the next two, so yeah, kind of feeling a bit bad about that one, but we'll see. You know, Sarr could blank in those good fixtures, and Ndiaye could get penalty or two, so you never know. So we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, strong week, 79 points, 32.7k. We've got 2 million in the bank and 3 free transfers, and Szoboszlai suspended to deal with. So let's move on to how I'm shaping up for game week 26. So currently how I'm lining up, we've got the triple Arsenal defence with the double game week. So we've got Raya, Timber, Gabriel, Van Dijk back in the lineup against Sunderland. I think that's fairly self-explanatory. And then at the moment I've got Mukiele in there because I would have had Szoboszlai in there. Mukiele would have been on the bench, but yeah, Szoboszlai's obviously suspended for this game now. So I think that's probably pushed me into needing a transfer this week for sure. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. But Ndiaye, that Bournemouth home fixture, Bournemouth aren't brilliant defensively, so hopefully this is a game where he can get something for me. Enzo Fernandez, Leeds at home. Leeds feel like they're fairly solid, but they do concede, so hopefully get some points again there. Bruno Fernandes, West Ham away, and Mbomo, West Ham away. I don't think that West Ham, especially away, I don't think that fixture's like necessarily an absolutely fantastic fixture anymore. I think the only like real fixture to properly target is Burnley now. I think Wolves and West Ham have kind of improved defensively, so yeah, it's not really it feels like, I might be wrong, but in my head it feels like that Bournemouth fixture is actually a better fixture to target. But yeah, moving up to the forwards, we've got Thiago against Arsenal at home. That's not an ideal fixture, but his fixtures do turn after this one, so just going to have to see if we get lucky, maybe a penalty in there. Probably don't want it, to be honest, because I've obviously got a triple Arsenal defence, but if it happens, at least I've got him in the team. Then yeah, Haaland against Fulham at home, which would be the captain choice probably if it wasn't for the double game week. So yeah, we have got the captain on Gabriel and vice captain on Timber. I suppose the first thing to talk about is triple captain or not. So I'm really torn on it. It's a real 50-50. I think there's a few factors here that just completely objectively that I feel like the chances are there will be a better fixture for Haaland in 36 most likely, and if there isn't, then Haaland in 36 has is it Brentford? Yeah, Brentford in 36 at home, which isn't a much worse fixture than a double game week for a defender, even a defender as good as Gabriel, with those two away fixtures. So even just that fixture alone is not a huge amount worse than this double game week for Gabriel, and it would be Gabriel I'd go for in my team. It'd probably be Gabriel I'd go for even if I had Rice, to be fair, for the double game week triple captain. But yeah, I just feel like there's an opportunity, or a fairly reasonable opportunity for a better triple captain in 36, and if there isn't, then I don't feel like it's a huge loss. The other factor is I've already got the triple Arsenal defence. I don't know if I want to go triple captain. It's almost like, well, captaining it is like having 4 defenders. Triple captain is like having 5 defenders in the same team, and I just don't know if I want to put all that many eggs in one basket. But then the flip side of this is I think the majority of people will play the triple captain this week, and with my rank getting quite decent now, I don't know if I just want to kind of play it a bit safer there, given that it is quite a close decision. Just kind of go with the crowd and not risk losing too much. But then it's a tough one. At the moment I'm leaning no. I don't feel like I'm missing out by not triple captaining a defender. It just inherently doesn't feel that scary. But it might just be because Gabriel hasn't got any attacking returns recently. As soon as he does that with a clean sheet and some defcons, then yeah, it's going to be pretty brutal. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to continue to think about the triple captain. But at the moment, I am slightly leaning towards leaving it this week and playing it, seeing what comes up later. I actually, some of you might have seen, I tweeted out about a potential Palmer move. And a lot of people have been trying to call me out on points chasing, and probably most of you know by now that I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that stupid to just see that he scored 20 points and say, oh yeah, I really need him in, otherwise I'm gonna lose out. My brain doesn't work like that. I'm always going to refer initially to data and data models, and like inherently I already thought, like, I was actually thinking of tweeting out and saying don't knee jerk and buy Palmer, because 2 of the goals that he's just scored were penalties, and that's a very rare thing to happen, is 2 penalties in a game. It wasn't like suddenly he's like free from his injury and he just absolutely smashed it, and he's flying. Obviously he scored 1 open play goal, but 2 of them were penalties, and so I was aware of that. But yeah, I ran it through FPL review, just like I do every week, and he actually come up on the top as a top result for Mbomo. And like I said a minute ago, I don't think that West Ham fixture away is as brilliant as it used to be. And obviously Palmer's got Leeds at home and Burnley at home. And I was thinking that Burnley fixture it's got like a week gap either side of it. So I think he probably plays 90 minutes in that game. But I built in a bit of tolerance in that. The Leeds game is the difficult one because it's difficult to call his minutes, and it's likely that he doesn't play. I'd say it's likely that he plays something like 60 minutes again, or 65. He could play like 75. I don't think he plays the full game, but equally there's a small chance he could play like 30 minutes or something off the bench. But I think sort of what feels right is he plays about 60, 65 minutes on that Leeds fixture. So I think that's kind of a sideways move based on those minutes from Mbeumo. And I don't know, it can easily backfire. And then there's a bit of time and he could be injured again before the Burnley fixture. And so yeah, I was really thinking about this, but it doesn't matter anyway because the Szoboszlai injury kind of means that I don't want to sell Szoboszlai. I could do, but I don't really want to. I think his fixtures are turning good, and Frimpong hopefully will be back soon and he'll be back in midfield. So I don't know if that matters anymore because he's been smashing it at right back. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to sell Szoboszlai, so I kind of need to fill that gap. And Mbeumo's have got a good fixture this week, so I've got to upgrade a player that would have been on the bench to fill that gap now, or sell Szoboszlai. So I don't think I can do that Palmer move anymore. A kind of decisions I'm down to is whether I basically upgrade Marshall to a Wolves forward. So that'd be Armstrong or Tolu. I mean, I've still got to weigh up which one of those it would be. I think Armstrong probably is fairly nailed. Now he's come into the team. Obviously, he's only played one game and played 90 minutes, but I feel like Armstrong's fairly nailed, or likely to be nailed. But that is a bit of a educated guess. Him coming into that Wolves team. Obviously, he's not like world-class player, but I think he's fairly solid and proven to an extent. And I think coming into that Wolves team, he should be fairly nailed. Obviously, they brought him in for a reason as well. So. And I do think Tolu's fairly nailed as well. Yeah, I think the only recent game that he's had been benched in was in the middle of the middle game of the busy fixtures. So I don't think you can really put too much weight on the penalties because we have not much idea at all really. So I think either of those two are close. Obviously Tolu's 0.1 million cheaper. So yeah, it's one of them for Marshall. Is one option, and I just don't really like it, to be honest. I don't like bringing in players from a rubbish team for a double game week where I'm probably never going to play them again. It's going to cost me over a million extra for the upgrade, and it's just going to be this game week, and then they're going to be on the bench again until our wild card, which still penciled in for 32. And then the alternative, which I really like, but I'm not sure, it's Mukiele. Because this is why I'm not sure, because I don't want to sell him because he's been so good for me, and his fixtures turn back round after this week. But it would be Mukiele to Munoz for Palace, and it kind of, the reason I like it is because I feel like I've missed out on that Sarr signing, and he kind of fills that gap that I kind of regret not going for Sarr. So he kind of fills that gap because the next 2 weeks he's got those really good fixtures. The other one is I don't think I've ever owned Munoz, and loads of people always own him, and he absolutely punishes me for not owning him, and this is one opportunity I've got where not many people are going to have him. So yeah, I really like it. I really like the sound of it, but as I said, like I usually let the kind of models guide when I'm weighing things up. I kind of tweak the minutes on review and stuff like that to try and refine these decisions, and that Munoz transfer just quite isn't there, and it also means selling Mukiele, which I really am not a huge fan of. Obviously Munoz doesn't have a fixture in 31 either, so but they are the two options at the moment. I'm kind of leaning towards that Munoz one because I just don't like the idea of bringing in Wolves players. Kind of changing the structure of my team feels like it's going to give me a bit less flexibility if unexpected things happen. So, whereas that Munoz is kind of playable anyway, even if other things go wrong, he kind of helps. But yeah, so I'm kind of leaning towards that Munoz transfer. But again, it's a close one. Yeah, I need to think about it. I need to really think about the potential of these Wolves players. Yeah, I'll have a bit of a closer look, but at the moment that's where I'm standing. So yeah, kind of leaning towards Munoz and triple captain, leaving it until later in the season. I think that's it from me for this week. I hope you all have a great game week, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.